Following your passion is the easiest way to make something that you love into something that you hate. What's happening, guys? If you're new here, my name's Matt, and on this channel we explore ways to be better every day. How many of you have heard the saying, follow your dreams, follow your passions, and you will never work a day in your life? This is an old cliche that we've probably heard many times. You've probably heard it from your teacher, even your aunt at your 12th birthday party. Now, Timmy, don't worry too much about money, just follow your passions, follow your dreams. Anyway, here's $10 for your troubles. Honestly, it's a toxic mindset that you need to stop believing in. You heard it here first. Stop following your passion. I want you to really think about your passions for a second. Even if you need to write them down, seriously think about them. Once you have this list, what I want you to do is I want you to go down this list and really look at all of these passions. How many of these did you have when you were 10 years old or 15 years old or 20 years old? If you're lucky, you're probably going to tick off 1 to 2 passions that you might still be interested in. If they're all the same, I seriously implore you to find a hobby. Find something that you didn't do when you were 10 years old. What if you followed your dreams when you were 10 years old and now you're a rodeo clown touring the Southern Hemisphere, doing shows all around the globe? Actually, that sounds pretty cool. What I'm trying to get at is that you probably feel a little bit of regret. You'd be selling your size 15 clown shoes on Facebook Marketplace. You're going to have a lot of regret, a lot of time invested in something that wasn't actually your passion, which kind of opens up the question, are you going to be passionate about the same things that you are today in 10, 15, 30 years time? Which is why it's really dangerous to just blindly follow your passion because you were passionate about it at the time. In high school, I was really passionate about chemistry, and so I decided to pursue it when I actually failed my first year of university. If you guys are interested in knowing more about that, check out this video right here. Now that I've graduated, I can safely say to you that I'm no longer as interested and as passionate about chemistry as when I first started, and now I'm riddled with debt, no real career opportunities, and I'm probably not going to pursue chemistry at all. Don't get me wrong, I'm still super interested in all of the topics inside of chemistry. However, that passion that I had is no longer there. It's kind of like, yes, I'm super interested in it, but I don't think I'm going to dedicate my life to it. I think the reason why this happened, and it happens with a lot of your passions, is that when you have expectations, when you have deadlines, when you have assignments, when you have things to do, when you're staying up late in order to work on this thing, it just becomes work. So you might not realize this, but over time that joy kind of starts to die, and unless you are truly passionate about it, you're probably not going to stick with it. Is there anything that you're passionate about right now? Are you considering taking it full time? Let me know down in the comments below, I'd love to hear it. This is something that you're probably going to have to deal with when you start to pursue your passion. It's going to start off as something that you're really interested with, but over time, as you have to work, you have to make an income, you have to make a living, it's going to become less and less fun. You might still be passionate about certain aspects of it, but when you take it as a business, there are going to be aspects which you might not like. For example, the business side, the commerce side, e-commerce, all of that stuff you're going to have to deal with when you take it full time. Aside from that, I also picked up education, which at the time I wasn't as passionate as I was about chemistry at the time. However, over time it kind of switched. I started becoming less and less passionate about chemistry, but I started becoming more and more passionate about education. Now, don't get me wrong, while I was doing assignments and having to study for education, I hated it. However, there were aspects of education which I absolutely fell in love with and I started growing a passion for. For example, I was really passionate about inspiring, educating, and seeing a kid's eyes light up when they finally understand something. Another thing that will light up a kid's eyes is if you leave a thumbs up if you're finding this video useful. At the end of the day, working for your money is going to suck. It doesn't matter if you do the most amazing job in the world, there are going to be days where you don't want to wake up, where you're having a really crappy day, and it's just not going to be fun. But here's the thing, at a full-time job, even if you just show up, do the bare minimum, you're still going to get paid. You might not get a promotion or a raise, but you're still going to get paid. If you were to follow your passion, there are going to be days, even when you produce the most amazing work, even when you go above and beyond for all your clients, there are going to be days where you just don't get paid at all, or you get paid very little and it doesn't even cover the cost that you put in to actually produce the work. But if you're really considering following your passion, here are 2 things things that you need to ask yourself. The first question you need to ask yourself, is it a passion or is it just a hobby? A hobby is something that you're interested in. It's enjoyable and you wouldn't mind doing it in your free time. A passion, on the other hand, is an activity where you find fulfillment and purpose in actually doing it. It's difficult telling the difference between the two because they intersect with each other so much. And so what I would recommend that you do, think about your passion. Think about doing it 9 to 5. Can you do it every single week without a day off? If you can, it's probably a passion. If not, and you'd say, I probably not, it's probably a hobby. The second thing you need to ask yourself, is it actually profitable to make a full-time income long term? You also need to ask yourself, is it worth the effort? So it's kind of 3 questions rather than 2. For example, recently I've started getting into photography and making videos. There is a possibility to make a full-time income from it, and on that to make a hell of a lot of money as well. However, the amount of effort that's required to actually get there doesn't meet the amount of interest that I actually have in it. And so I'm probably just going to leave it as a hobby that I can do on the side. We'd all like to think that we can be incredibly successful in everything that we can do and that we can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in our passion. That might be because of social media and Instagram and TikTok showing you all this fake clout and all this fakeness on the internet, but it's just social media, and a lot of the things on social media aren't true. What you're experiencing with all of these social media platforms is something known as survivorship bias. To put simply, we see so many success stories on TikTok and Instagram and on the news that we don't realize that each of these people were 1 in a million, 1 in a billion chance. So for every Elon Musk that you have 999,000 other people who didn't make it. It's kind of like putting all your money into one lottery ticket because you know one person from your suburb who won the lottery ticket in 2002. It just sounds ridiculous, right? If you've asked yourself these 2 things and you're still happy with the result, I'd say go for it. There's no reason why you shouldn't. I would strongly advise that you take it part-time. I know that in society, we appreciate the Sigma grind set 24/7, never stop, never miss a single day, but that's really, really toxic. It's not healthy, it's not realistic, and it doesn't work. It's horrible advice to tell people to work 24/7 in order to realize their dream. It's also horrible advice to tell someone to pursue their passion and to give up everything else in sight of this dream. So that's why you shouldn't follow your passion. It is the worst advice that you can give someone for their career. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. All my links are down below. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for tuning in today, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. So, you're still here. Consider watching one of these videos, will ya? See ya.